I've been in the industry of people losing their homes due to fire, flood, monster emergency services. But I need you guys to hear me out. You don't see what's going on. I feel something is bigger. I've been on Maui the last 9 years, and I know the geographical location and how everything works. There was no fucking way that a hurricane missed Big Island, went to Maui, and didn't flood them, didn't give them, crazy, other things, but it caused fires. It caused fires in not only on Maui, but it caused fires in the most precious parts of real estate in Maui. Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property in Lahaina due to these big $1 million companies. It is not a coincidence, I don't believe, how in the most precious parts of Maui, Kula, Lahaina, and Kihei, that the locals that are standing strong and do not want to give up Oprah Winfrey's fucking view up in Kula that the Hawaiians are holding out on, that the fire was going to, the Hawaiians and the Kanaka that was holding right there on Front Street.
Allow me to tell you all the reality of this Maui situation, or better yet, the reality of all of these disasters and highly questionable events. You see, we're all basically gerbils. We're all hamsters on a hamster wheel, just running and running, trying to get to the truth. But we never fully do. Because before we're actually allowed to reach the truth about one event, another one happens. You see, they drag out these events. They drag them out. They drag things out. So it takes so long to really get the facts and the full details. It's been like 12 days since the fires in Maui. We still don't know how many people died. We still don't know how many people are missing. We still don't know what's going to come of all of this. And we don't even know what happened to the hundreds of missing kids. But you see, before we have a chance to get down to the bottom of what really happened in Maui, there's going to be another catastrophic event. There's going to be another highly questionable event that takes everyone's attention away. You have to understand that we never got the answers to what happened in East Palestine. They kept pretending like, oh, the tests are going to take this long, and you have to wait 3 months for this piece of news, 6 months for this data. And before you know it, by the time you're getting the actual information about what happened, you're already focused on 15 other events. So that's the reality of this situation, folks. That's the reality of all of these situations. They want to keep us in a state of constantly asking questions without ever being given the time to find the answers. Before you find out what really happened in Maui, there's going to be 6 more Mauis. We're all just trapped on this hamster wheel, running towards the truth, but we never really get there. They never really allow us to get there. None of us have enough time in our day to really get down to the bottom of the truth because there's too many other events happening that we need to get down to the bottom of. So that's why I always tell people in events like this, listen, there's going to be hella theories floating everywhere. People are going to be asking questions about this. People are going to say that this is the cause of this. And it gets hard trying to figure out what's real and what's fake. But that's why I always say in situations like this, we need to focus on what's easily provable. We need to focus on the things that are easily proven. And when we focus on those things, when we expose those things, we get a clearer picture of what the bigger picture actually is. None of you can prove that space lasers caused the fires in Maui. None of you sitting at home can prove for a 100% fact to the entire world that direct energy weapons are responsible for what happened in Maui. You know what you can prove? You can prove that they shut the water off. You can prove that law enforcement stopped people from escaping. You can prove that they didn't sound the alarm, they didn't use the sirens. You can prove all of these things. And once you prove all of these things, once you focus on all of these things, it makes the bigger picture much clearer. And the bigger picture is here that regardless of what caused these fires, there was very obviously some suspicious activity during the fires. Some very questionable decisions that were made that very obviously were not made to save human lives. In fact, it looks like just the opposite. So you'll spend a lifetime trying to get to the truth about what caused the fires, when you could spend a day or two getting down to the bottom of what's easily provable. So you can go ahead and chalk it up like, okay, yeah, they're definitely lying about this. They definitely did this. They definitely did that. And then you can go ahead and be prepared for when the next situation pops off, because I'm looking at my watch and seeing as it's about 12 days since the fire in Maui, I guarantee you they got something else up their sleeve planned. Within the next few days, there'll be another catastrophic event. They're talking about Hurricane Hillary hitting California all day. Meanwhile, that's just the average day in Florida. Tropical storm? What? We have hurricane parties. You think I'm worried about Tropical Storm Hillary? No. I'm focused on the Maui fires. But they were hoping that everyone focuses on Hurricane Hillary. They wanted that to be the next thing. Maybe the storm wasn't as bad as what they hoped it would be. Because I guarantee you, they hoped it would be as bad as possible so they could then blame climate change as they made decisions. They made decisions that would basically make sure that more people died. So yeah, long story short, the reality of the Maui situation is that we're being lied to, and they're going to drag out the situation. They're going to drag out the truth as long as possible because they know that something else will happen, something else will go down, and people will focus their attention elsewhere. But as of right now, here in America, we're still reporting that there's I believe the last time I checked, they said 114 people dead. Meanwhile, in the UK, they're reporting over 400 people. Make that make sense. In America, we're reporting 100-something deaths, but in the UK, they're reporting over 400. Meanwhile, the reality is there's 1,300 people still missing, or what they like to say, unaccounted for. That's the new word. Oh, they're not missing. They're just unaccounted for. Because to actually be missing, we would have to not know where they're at. Let me not go there. But I can confirm that mortuaries in the area, they're running out of body bags. That's how bad it is. And the remains of most of these people are utterly unrecognizable. They're having to do DNA tests to identify most of these people. But before I go on another rant, I'm going to play this clip really quick, and then I'll be back with a little bit more thoughts.
Doing reporting through social media is idiotic. Don't use social media. Do not rely on people who fancy themselves as influencers. The word influencer, right off the bat, suggests that they want to influence you.
Get off your phone. Get off your tablet.
Oh my God. Where have we heard this before? We've heard this before, right? He's sitting here, don't believe social media. Don't go to social media, it's idiotic. Don't believe the people of Maui about what's happening. Believe me, Believe CNN and MSNBC. Believe the mainstream media. Believe the politicians. Don't believe the people who survived the fire. Think about how that sounds. They want to be the only source for information. They want to control the information so they can control the narrative. So they can continue to lie about what's going on in these areas. Don't look, whatever you do. That's going to have the opposite effect. Whatever you do, don't look at social media, because then you'll know that I am full of shit and that we are all lying. Whatever you do, do not look at social media, because then you'll start adding two and two together, and you'll start putting the pieces together, and you'll realize that we're responsible for all of these people dying. Don't go on social media, because then you'll see that we blocked people from escaping. Don't go on social media, because you see, the mainstream media, it's showing us helping all of these people. It's showing FEMA and the Red Cross helping all of these people. So don't go on social media where you'll see the people who actually live in this area basically blatantly saying that they are not getting any help and that Red Cross and FEMA is working against them, stopping them from getting supplies. Oh, but don't go on social media, folks. Beware of social media. These people's true colors are shining so brightly, and I hope you all see them. I hope all of you are paying attention. Listen, I know that not everyone is on the same wavelength. A lot of you all, you're right there with me when it comes to stuff like this, but some people are still very skeptical. And you have to be patient with those people. Because the reality is that we all have been brainwashed since the beginning of our lives. The media, these politicians, they've brainwashed us. Luckily, a lot of us were able to break out of it. Luckily, a lot of us use our noggins and we're able to see through the mess. But a lot of people can't. That's why when we have situations like this, it's important to show people. Show people. Because these people are still walking around like sheep. These people are getting prepared to get slaughtered. Someone needs to tell them the truth. And you know, it's going to be situations like this that really wakes people up. The people of Maui, I guarantee you they weren't on the same wavelength as a lot of us. Look at who they vote for. They voted for policies that basically ended up with them all dead. That's the reality of it. So they're waking up. And people are going to wake up. They're going to start realizing that, oh, these people don't care about us. Your favorite politician and your favorite politician, they don't care about us. They despise us. They want to control us. And they want to stop people like me from spreading information to people like you all. I'm their number one enemy. People like me, we're their number one enemies. So keep that in mind. Every day when I come here and I bring these news stories to you all, understand that that is what I'm operating against. I'm operating against governors, presidents, congressmen and women, who are all fighting to ensure that I don't have the freedom of speech. So I'm not allowed to sit here in front of you all today and show you all the truth. And if you've been watching my coverage of this, just like my coverage of other stories, I'm not here to make you believe in my narrative. I'm not here to spread a narrative. What I do is I show you all what people on the ground are saying. And everyone on the ground is singing the same story. And it's not the same song that the mainstream media is singing. Let me know your thoughts though down below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.